1974 was the year that I turned 1. I'd probably just gone from crawling to walking and standing. At least that's what I can tell looking at my baby photos in the photo albums. Now, obviously, as a toddler, I was too young to be playing with any tech of any kind, but I was listening to records, particularly an album by Jackson Browne, I remember. And I can see in the photo albums that I was playing with lots of these film canisters as building blocks. And these little canisters, they were good fun to play with. And this one here is a Kodachrome slide film made by Kodak. And this one here is an old Agfa film from the 1970s. All of these are vintage films. A lot of the photos in our photo albums would have come from mechanical cameras. And one of the most iconic was this one by German manufacturer Agfa, which also made film, of course. Perfect combination. So my tech nomination for 1974 is the Agfamatic 2008 with this signature red button. In Germany, where it was made, it became known as the Richrath camera. Can you think why? But guys, this camera is 50 years old, just like me, and it's still as modern as anything. Maybe not like me. This was still an analog world, and of course, cameras have always been mechanical in their functions, right from the very beginning. So that means that there were no batteries in this thing, which even from today's point of view, I find quite remarkable. With this camera, it was all about being easy to use. I will say that the first thing you notice about this is the chrome and plastic has such a smooth, ergonomic, kind of luxurious feel about it. Almost something that would have been designed by Apple. And this is still a thing of beauty. No wonder it won a design award in 1974. So it worked by opening the device this way, and at the back there was a door that you opened into which the film cartridge went in. This was the 110 film format that came as a cartridge rather than one of these more familiar 35 millimeters. So all you did was pop in the film, close the hatch, load it, and you are ready to go. And in terms of functionality, there was actually only one setting: low light, cloud, or bright light, sunshine. And that was it. This was set to a fixed f9.5 aperture, which meant that most things would be in focus. So zigzag, load, take the photo. Zigzag, load. It couldn't be more simple. It was all about encouraging more people to take photos with these handy pocket cameras. And when you look through the viewfinder, you got a nice parallax view of what you were photographing, like this. And the Agfamatic 2008 also came with another feature that I've never seen on any other camera in my life, and that was this handy strap. Now you might be asking, what's so radical about a handy strap? Well, this particular one screwed off and was removable. Now again, why is that so amazing? Well, the thing is, this is the tripod hole that every camera has. And it was just such a great design thinking of like, well, let's use that hole for this rather than adding one more hole for the strap. If you look at these other cameras from later years, this has got a strap, but the hole is here, and therefore an extra hole is needed for this strap. The same with this camera. There's a strap here, but there's a separate hole here. So there's an extra element needed for the strap, and a hole is here. So I've never seen this functionality on any other camera before, which I just think is a nice touch. This really is good design thinking. If we go back to the overall design, it's just so smooth, ergonomic. Some say this is very much influenced by the modernist Bauhaus design, which also came from Germany, which involved lots of straight line, flat surfaces, but smooth, round corners. And it kind of reminds me of those Cold War era spy cameras that you see in the old movies, where a miniature version of this would be used to photograph secret documents. Now, I never used cameras like this personally, but I know that it was cameras like these at the time that were responsible for all of those photos that ended up in my photo albums of me growing up as a child. I would say that my nomination for 1974 is testament to both the analog and the mechanical age in a way. It was simple, mechanical action, and at the same time there was no batteries. It was designed no fiddling with film, manual feeding, and no clunky buttons or setting or anything to snag. This was a design classic, and I'm sure even Steve Jobs will have admired this product. See you in the next video.